Alright, welcome back everyone. We're loading into the game right here, and we got Email Support versus Dory Dank. Looks like Email Support is going for an Oil Rogue approach, while Dory Dank is going for a Control Paladin. And now as far as mulligans, the SI7 agent along with Deadly is probably a keep, but against the Paladin you kind of want to keep maybe your heavies, so maybe Violet Teacher stays. We'll find out. Dory Dank's hand looks kind of funky. He realizes the Big Game Hunter probably won't get any targets except for like with an oil onto a minion. So he just throws that away. In return, he gets another Wild Pyromancer and he gets a Tyrion. Probably not what he wanted in the Tyrion, but Wild Pyromancer is great. So Email Support is going to start us off probably with a pass. And then Dory Dank is able to start us out with maybe a real play in a coin Wild Pyromancer or just another pass. Maybe a coin Hero Power, never mind. So Email Support's probably going to weapon up here and pass. Now, Assassin's Blade in the hand for Email Support. That's usually not a card that you see very often in Oil Rogue, but it does benefit a lot from the amount of buffs that you can actually give to your weapon. So that's probably targeted at really extensive battles like Priest and Warrior. It's probably going to help him out here against the Paladin as well, depending on how many heals Dory Dank has. But as far as we see, no real heals. It just looks like a mid-range Control Pally. He might be running maybe one anti-Keelbot. That's usually the most common heal that we see these days. But Dory Dank might just start out with a Wild Pyromancer, considering it won't get just killed by the weapon right away. He might go for a Hero Power, but he is just kind of stuck right here. We don't know how aggressive this Paladin deck is so far. He could be running the Quartermaster combo with Muster for Battle, but so far we do not see evidence of that. Email Support. Let me just answer Dory Dank real fast. Now, if Dory Dank does have to drop out, he can just re-enter tomorrow and just play again tomorrow if he has internet problems. So that's not a worries. So as far as this play on Email Support, he can just weapon up, kill the thing, and then, or he could just lay down a naked SI7 agent. Plenty of options, but none of them really spectacular. So he's going to go with the weapon up and basically waste 2 mana. And pass. Whoa, Dory Dank is running it. Looks like a really heavy late game deck. Now that generally signifies that there is going to be some healing to actually allow the Paladin to live past the first few turns. So Email Support is able to challenge the Big Game Hunter with the weapon and start developing his own board in the Violet Teacher. Dory Dank can't really do much besides reduce the attack. The Violet Teacher will start pumping out some minions, but it looks like there's not very many beneficial spells for Email Support to start with. He does save his Violet Teacher from any potential damage with the Assassin's Blade and start chipping away at the Paladin one attack at a time. Some real heavy drops. We got Dr. Boom, we got Sneeds, and we have Tyrion, along with Sylvanas. That is... So, looks like we're going to have pretty much heavy drop after heavy drop here on out. Email Support kind of has to figure out how to deal with this. Nothing real clean besides the sap. That's not the best, but I guess it works. Sylvanas is notorious for being one of the most commonly sapped targets. And really smashing away that Paladin. Paladin has 0 heals in his hand, and we have not seen any heals from his deck so far. Maybe the Sylvanas comes back down, maybe Wild Pyromancer and Equality. He's really feeling threatened. Generally, the biggest minion that Rogue will ever have is like an Azure Drake or a Violet Teacher, so that... Oh, there's Edwin, so that's potentially could be really big, but that equality on those 3 minions was pretty efficient. Rogue probably is not going to be able to develop too much that's going to get larger than that. He's going with a buffless oil, so no minion is going to get buffed from that oil, but 6 damage weapon is going to start hitting face. He has one more charge. Ooh, and a Death Lord for Dory Dank. So that means he is super late game. So he either got Dr. Boom or Death Lord in combination. Since he's at 17 life, he might just throw down Dr. Boom just to try to get board control. He doesn't have to play too defensive just yet. But as far as lethal, it looks like we have 6 damage and then an Abyss. So he is basically 4 damage off lethal considering the minion on board as well. So almost there. Blade Flurry cannot clear everything. There's no spell damage to buff up the Blade Flurry to 7 damage. So Dr. Boom might just live. He might just put his opponent... Okay, so he's gonna... Will he Abyss? He might just Abyss the Dr. Boom. He's gonna attack it with his face, maybe. Yep, there we go. And he's gonna save everything else, so... And Edwin comes out as a 4/4. Okay, so that's, 3 mana for a 4/4. That's justifiable. Yet, Dory Dank is able to lay down Tyrion. So one sap has already been used, so Tyrion might be able to stick. As far as other plays, you could go with the Sword of Justice along with Deathlord to prevent any face damage. And usually, Deathlord will summon a 3/3 for the rogue. That's usually the most common summon. Other things would be an Azure Drake, or maybe a Thalnos might come out from the Deathlord, so nothing real scary. The best minion you probably want to get from Deathlord is Edward Van Cleave, considering he'll just come out as a 2/2, but that's already on the field, so that's not really what he's looking for. Dory Dank has a few plays. Looks like he's really wanting to get the Sword of Justice Deathlord down, and that will allow him to start healing and start clearing the board. But he will go down to 6 life if he does do that. Tyrion. And here we are with the Sword of Justice. Or, let me make sure I have that name right. True Silver Champion. Completely wrong. True Silver Champion. So he's going to go down to 6 life here. If he attacks, he does not attack with anything, so he is just letting the rogue play with his food right now. Email support can clear this. He cannot silence or sap it, so he has to clear it the hard way. He can do it with his Edwin and Abyss. He doesn't... Looks like the Healbot is probably going to come down here just to combo something. So he is going to combo... Looks like Dory Dank missed an attack. Looks like Dory Dank wanted to attack there with the True Silver, but the internet cut out, so that's too sad. Looks like this is a best of 3, so if Dory Dank does lose here, which he might, looks like his only real option is Tyrion, and he can't really do much beyond that. He can probably heal with attacking the rogue's face, but he's just going to concede. Looks like Dory Dank switched his deck to a control warrior this time rather than a control paladin. And email support is staying with the same deck. Gonna answer Dory Dank real fast. And as far as mulligans, Dory Dank has a kind of a strong hand with the Fiery War Axe. And email support is able to get several good early minions, but nothing like a prep or a poison. That's kind of what he's maybe looking for. But he does kind of want a lot of card draw against a warrior. And he does have that Assassin's Blade. That's probably specifically in this deck to target warriors. Maybe a slow start here. He might equip the weapon, he might just armor up. Email support is almost going to weapon up next turn, and then maybe he could just Edwin next turn with a coin. And that would get it a 4/4 3 mana. Dory Dank really thinking about the turn 2. Yeah. Those turn 2 plays, gotta really ponder them. So it's either armor up or weapon up here for Dory Dank. No rogue, I have not seen a competitive rogue disc that ever runs like a Harrison Jones or a Ooze. So if he does weapon up, it's probably going to stick. Oh, so there is the sprint for email support. That's kind of what he needs against a warrior, because you want to get a lot of minions and a lot of card draw to beat warriors, because they generally remove your stuff very efficiently, and they gain life pretty. So email support starts out with the coin Edwin to start getting on pressure. Dory Dank can answer it with a weapon and then execute if he wants, but that's gonna leave him down to, that's using 2 cards, but hopefully Dory Dank realizes that Edwin is potentially the largest minion that rogues will have these days, so he's going with execute on it. He does have another one in hand, so he feels generally safe. Shield block cannot get supported by Shield Slam right now. Hopefully that comes in the future. Usually oil rogues only run maybe 1 sprint and maybe another big minion like Dr. Boom, but email support is running double sprint, so he's gonna be able to probably draw most of his deck this game, depending on how well Dory Dank is able to defend off the aggression. Dory Dank sets initiative with the Shredder. Email support's able to answer it, but what comes out of the Shredder is the question. So a Neutron, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good against a rogue. Ooh, I wonder if you Cruel Task the Neutron, will it get 3 attack and just pop the Divine Shield? Probably. So for email support's Shredder, he gets a Fairy Dragon, and he's gonna kill it with the Cruel Taskmaster. Cruel Taskmaster is not considered like a spell effect, so you can't target that with you can't silence it with like the owl and stuff, but you can't silence it with the actual priest spell. So you can target the Fairy Dragon with minions. Email support has an interesting play. Healbot looks attractive, but he's going to overheal himself for about 4. He wants to sprint, to be honest, but he has no prep in hand to start sprinting. Looks like he's going to go with the Healbot. So we have an overheal of 3, not too big of a deal against a warrior. Brawl comes in hand, so if the board gets too crazy, Dory Dank has an answer. As far as development, Dory Dank is 1 off Dr. Boom, 1 mana off Dr. Boom, 2 mana off Ragnar, so maybe just an armor up here is what we're gonna see.
What now?
Now as far as trading, he might trade his whole board into the Antique Healbot, but that's not really sacrificing too much, that's only 3 damage they'd be sacrificing. Dory Dank is having some internet issues, so he might be lagging out. This turn does not look very difficult. He does not have a lot of great options, so he's left to just hero power, but we'll see what he goes with.
I must choose. What now?
Looks like he might have lagged out. So currently, yeah, looks like he might have lagged out, but we'll stick around. We might just try to get a rematch of this. So the current score is email support up 1 game in this best of 3. So we might get a, yeah, we'll try to get a rematch. So what happened last game is Dory Dank had some real internet issues, and he disconnected from the game, and etc, etc. So he's actually just going to forfeit that match. So email support goes up by 1 win, and he has a life total of about 15, considering he was only able to win 1 game. So he has a really low life total right now, but he does have 1 win. Now, his next opponent is going to Bradykin. Bradykin fought for us last night, and Bradykin is... He said that he was like a warrior main, so it looks like he is playing the warrior here. So that's cool. Email support has played the oil rogue 3 games now, but he's only able to win 1 with it and then forfeit the other. So he has a good oil rogue so far. Now, as far as mulligans, looks like really strong for email support. Nice low drop minions, nice combo pieces. Bradykin has the fiery war axe. He has a couple shield slams. That's probably not what he wants for. He maybe wanted like an armor smith, just some low minions to start rolling in. But good enough, probably, to start us off here. So email support really pondering to using that blade poison on no weapon. So he just passes the turn over. Bradykin has an unstable ghoul. Okay, and Bradykin just passes the turn right over to email support. So we're probably just getting a weapon up to set up for the deadly poison and the goblin armor bobber. Bradykin has maybe a shield. Ooh, he has the acolyte, so he might be able to throw that down next turn, but it will probably get answered by deadly poison on the weapon. But for right now, it looks like we're gonna have an auto barber to buff up the weapon just a little bit and get a minion on the board. Bradykin can answer that with a shield slam if he wants, but probably does not want to. He could answer that with the fiery war axe. That's probably what he's looking for. Oh, he's going to go with an armor up instead and just shield slam it. Saving... So, he's valuing his armor total. I think that's what he's doing. So he's saying, okay, I could weapon it down, but that's going to lose all my armor. And email support, will he knock off the 4 armor with an attack here? He could SI7 agent to get him down to 28 life. But Bradykin, last turn, he recognized that his hand had 2 shield slams, and he just kind of wants to keep his armor high. Guess we're going to see a 4-4 Edwin, maybe? But this is going into the Deathbite turn, so Edwin might just get slammed by Deathbite. We know that there's no Deathbite in hand, so that might just go safely. He does knock off the 4 armor. So Bradykin does not have a clean answer to this unless he wants to use several cards to do it. Armor Smith comes in hand. Unstable Ghoul is probably going to start us out. That's going to put the guy down to... We are going to get an Acolyte. Very smart. Start the card draw. There is no smart way to get rid of the Acolyte unless you want to... Okay, so he's just going to Blade Flurry it down. Deny the Acolyte. And Bradykin goes down to 20 health with some great minions on board for email support. Email support doesn't have many cards, but that's alright for now. Looks like Bradykin's able to start smashing down his own some answers. 1 shield slam still in hand. He has another fiery war axe, so plenty of weapons. Backstab with another SI7 agent. But these SI7 agents are going to get fiery war axed all day. No minions left in hand, but plenty of bursts with that sharp sword oil. Shredder might be coming down here with another armor up, and that will leave him able to shield slam hopefully next turn if the SI7 agent goes into the Shredder. But if that happens, there's no minions left. Ooh, a nice Assassin's Blade. So if that Assassin's Blade gets buffed by Tinker Sharpsword Oil, that's gonna be like 6 attack for 4 durability. That's gonna be pretty dangerous. Yeah, it does go down. It's gonna probably go straight. Nope, it's gonna go straight to face, not into the Shredder. And he is making. Ooh, he's just gonna sap it down or sap it away. He's not gonna do any trading whatsoever. He's just gonna say, I have you at 8, and I have plenty of stuff to kill you right now. Ooh, a Sludge Belcher. That's probably gonna be his saving grace. And just an armor up, and pray to God that this can't get like taken care of easily. Violet Teacher, that's probably a great draw.
Pay attention, class.
He's wanting to get Tinker Sharpsword Oil on the Violet Teacher probably, because he does. And that allows him to clear the Sludge Belcher very nicely with keeping several... Ooh, and a Palm Lopper. That doesn't kill the Violet Teacher, but it will kill anything else. But the Violet Teacher is the real threat here. No cards in hand, so Bradykin realizes how important this is to live this turn, and if he can stabilize here, he can pretty much hold the game down for the rest and just take out the victory.
I wonder.
Interesting, so he could... oh man. Bomb Lover probably has to go on the SI-7 agent, and if it does not land there, it's probably going to be game. Now, but Lethal still is on board. We have a 6 damage weapon with a 6 attack minion, so Lethal still is on board. And we don't have any... he's going to go up to 12 life. And Shield Slam... yeah, that's it. So, Email Support wins with 27 life. This is the second game with Email Support against Bradykin. The previous game was won by Email Support with his Oil Rogue. He won with 27 life, so that's a great start. Bradykin changes up from a Control Warrior to, looks like a Ram Druid. He has the Wild Growth in hand, and he has some great minions to go along with it. The Big Game Hunter is probably going to get dropped here just as a minion. Probably is not going to try to get any value from that. Big Game Hunter is probably the most commonly run in Druid, so Email Support is probably going to play around buffing his minions, not keeping his minions below 7 attack, which really can only theoretically happen if he has an Azure Drake with the oil buff on it. Everything else is going to be 6 attack or lower. So the weapon up comes out, pretty standard rogue opening, and then here we go with the Wild Growth. And then after the Wild Growth we can go straight into a Shredder, Sludge Belcher, and whatever comes in hand after that. So a great curve for the Druid. Email Support refuses to pass the turn here. He's debating on whether he should attack or not, or we just glitched out. We'll figure it out here in a sec.
So many options.
Alright, so we'll wait about maybe 10 more seconds, and then if it doesn't work, we'll just reload. This happens quite a bit in the spectator mode. Yeah, you glitch out and whatnot, but we'll exit out of the spectator mode, go to commercial break for about 10 seconds, and then that'll be it. Alright, we're going to exit out. Welcome back, everyone. We were able to reload into the game, and it looks like we're on turn 4 for the Druid, and the Druid was probably able to Wild Growth last turn, and now he's going to be able to Sludge Belcher to answer the SI-7 agent. Looks like the SI-7 agent was just laid down without any extra combo, so it was probably just naked.
This guy's toast.
But this SI-7 will get comboed along with the hero attack, and then the slime is going to get killed by the first SI agent. So the board is in favor for Email Support. Bradykin is able to set up maybe a Wrath and a Big Game Hunter. That's probably going to be the play. Or an Azure Drake works too. Extra little card draw. He has a second Wild Growth in his hand, so he might just save that for turn 10. He did have one earlier in this game, so he is up. Yeah, he should be up in mana as far as we see, but we're going to see what comes out of the Shredder first. Decent minion, average, but it will get killed straight away by the SI-7 agent probably. The Zombie Chow is probably best to die here, considering... or actually keeping the Zombie Chow alive for a little bit, because you're at 27 life, you kind of want to get the full value out of the 5 heal. But Wrath is able to come down... oh, it's going to come down for 3, not going to card draw. And he's going to see what comes out of the Shredder. Okay, so that's a below average minion, so Bradykin is happy with that. He's able to clear out the whole board if he's going to hero power, and he's probably going to lay down the second Zombie Chow. The Rogue, as far as answering what's on the board, he's probably going to fan the knives and see what he draws off that. He doesn't have any great minions to play. Okay, so yep, he does fan knives. He does draw a Deadly Poison. So that's not the greatest right now. He kind of wants maybe a minion. He's going to just weapon up and looks like Deadly Poison to answer the second Zombie Chow. Bradykin has a Azure Drake to start the card draw if he doesn't top deck anything good. Yep, nothing good, so he's probably just going to Azure Drake and Hero Power, depending on what the Azure Drake draws. Okay, so he has a running combo. That's the first half of the combo. We have not seen the naked Big Game Hunter. That's probably going to get drawn here. Sprint comes in hand. So we can't prep Sprint, but Sprint will fill up the hand. It's going to go up to 8 cards in hand and 0 mana to play them. Ooh, another prep. So the prep could go down on a sap, but he chooses not to use the prep on the sap. Violet Teacher's probably going to go down next turn, and he has plenty of spells to go in combination with the Violet Teacher. Shade comes down, and Email Support is not able to answer the Shade with any AoE currently. He could top deck a Blade Flurry. He does have a 3 damage weapon, so that okay, so no top deck Blade Flurry. Shade's probably going to start growing here without being challenged. Violet Teacher comes down, and maybe a Abyss on the Drake.
I'm ready to learn.
Now, does Thalnos come down? What's going to be this 2 mana? Maybe, yep, okay, so just a weapon up. So 3 damage goes to face to the weapon, and the full durability weapon back in charge. Now, Sharp Sword Oil is in hand, so that could start getting some action here. Swipe into a Hero Power. Looks like Bradykin's play. He doesn't have any great minions like Ancient of Lore or Lotheb, something like that, so he kind of has to play just his spells to clear it out. He's probably really wanting a Lore. Wild Growth will be able to draw next turn, but for this turn he's just kind of stuck with his Swipe and Big Game Hunter along with a Hero Power. Not very attractive, but make it work. Bradykin really think about this turn. Now, we might have just glitched out again, so we're going to have to wait for a little bit to see if we glitched out, and if we did... Okay, so a Sludge Belcher with purple Warlock colors, that probably means that we glitched. Welcome back everyone, we're back, and hopefully we're fully loaded. So, Bradykin was able to... Oh, so he drew a Lotheb with the... So he used the Wild Growth, he drew some stuff, he's got some answers on hand. Email Support has tons of cards in hand. Now, as far as what he plays, he could just play another Azure Drake. Looks like he's going to go with a Heal Bot. Will overheal for 1, but develop something, so he's happy with that. Now, Bradykin has a Shade that keeps growing. Looks like the Shade got hit by 2. Maybe just a... Yeah, we don't really know how the Shade got hit. I'm guessing that it was just a spell damage Phantom Knives. So two Force of Natures in the hand for Bradykin. So whenever he top decks a Roar, he will just straight up win the game. Oil Rogues do not run taunts. They have heals, but that's already been used. Email Support has... Okay, so he's going to go with the Sap, and looks like he's going to start going offensive. Abyss onto the Shade. And backstab with a weapon attack. And that's going to leave the board clear, so no Savage Roar top deck will be lethal. But he did get a Wrath, so that can start drawing if he wants. Or he's going to Wrath for 3 in Hero Power, we'll see. It's going to take a little bit more face damage, but he's at 25 life, so he's able to take some damage, not a big deal. Yep. So he does go with that, lays down a Sludge Belcher, nice defense. So board control back in the favor of Bradykin. Email Support has, as far as minions, not the best. He has his Haha guy, and he's just top decked an Email Goblin Auto Barber. But that's not too helpful right now. Looks like he's going to play that, gets the extra damage on his weapon. Another sap, so the Sludge Belcher has been sapped twice now. And looks like Haha is going to come out for a lot of damage. 2 preps. Oh, yep, another prep. And Haha is going to hit for 8, looks like. Big Game Hunter was used. So Bradikin is down to 7 life. But Force of Nature does come in hand, so looks like 1 Force of Nature can be used right now to clear out the board, and then the combo can be used next turn to actually just kill him. But he has to play a taunt. There's a 7 attack. Yeah, 7 attack weapon, so he has to play a taunt. Oh man. So, alright. How email support does not have some great options here. The taunt does kind of cock block him pretty hard. Hopefully Bradikin's able to stabilize. Let's see what the top deck from Bradikin. If it's like a... Ooh, it's an Action of Lore. Maybe that can be used to heal a bit. He wants to use Force of Nature just to get his opponent down to 14. And then once he does that, then the combo in his hand will just kill him. And there he goes. Looks like he's going to be down to 11. And Bradikin hopefully might pull this out. Ooh, does that help? That can boost... No, that does not help. Looks like email support is just straight up dead here. He is gonna pray and cross his fingers that there is no... yeah. Down to 4 life, but Bradikin will probably win with this 4 life.
Well played.
And he does. Alright, so the score currently is 1-1. These guys have one more match to play in their best of 3 series. So we'll see. We'll see who's able to pull this out. The exact same decks. Drawing an Innovator Action of Lore at some point is helpful. That's kind of the point of the deck. Okay. So it looks like the exact same decks. Bradikin is running the Ramp Druid, while email support is running his Oil Rogue. So nothing different. These guys have no deck restrictions, so they could switch if they want, but it looks like they did not choose to switch. Bradikin mentioned how he is a warrior, control warrior main, but that lost first against the Oil Rogue of email support, so he chose to go with the Ramp Druid. He was able to pay off last game and pull this series into a tie. Currently it's 1-1, and this game will be the deciding match to see who will continue to face the opponents for the night. Bradikin has a really slow start, but he's able to... Okay, so far, email support has the exact same slow start. He does have a Edwin, and he has the coin. So coin, Edwin can come down. It looks like we're going to start with an innervated Shredder. That's kind of scary. No poison in the hand for email support, so he's not able to whack it down with the poison. He might just... He's going to go with the Sap. Alright, so Sap is probably the best answer to any innervated stuff out, because you use 2 cards to get it out, and now it's going to go back in the hand, and it can't be played again for another turn or 2.
Mistakes were made.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
And there we go, an 8-8 Edwin Van Cleve. No Big Game Hunter in the hand of Bradikin. I think email support made that email about mistakes were made is because he wanted to make the Edwin 6-6 rather than an 8-8 to dodge the Big Game Hunter. But luckily enough, Bradikin does not have the Big Game Hunter. He gets a Wild Growth, but it's pretty late for the Wild Growth. So Edwin is just going to start smashing face, and the YOLO Edwin looks like it's going to actually pay off. Ooh, and he gets a nice Azure Drake off the Fan of Knives, so plenty of stuff to play. Oh, and he gets a Keeper of the Grove. That's what I meant. So he can silence this Edwin right here, and he has perfect 4 mana to do it. So the Edwin's going to go down to 2 life and 2 health. I mean 2 attack and 2 health. And email support is like kind of sad. Blade Flurry in the hand. Looks like we're going to go with the Goblin Auto Barber and attack. Nice clean kill. Edwin's gonna stay alive. So far Edwin has done 10 damage to face, so that's great. Bradykin is able to play his Sludge Belcher or the Shredder that got sapped away, but Sludge Belcher looks great. And email support has an Azure Drake and an Azure Drake next turn if he wants. So there's plenty of card draw. Looks like the two crappy minions are going to get traded in, probably with a weapon attack as well. Oh, actually the weapon attack is going to get the most damage, so Edwin Van Cleave will continue living with 1 life, so Edwin has done great work so far. And the swipe onto the Azure Drake will clear out anything from the board, and then no further development for Bradykin, just a hero power. Email support is probably going to answer with the Azure Drake next turn to continue the card draw. Blade Flurry is basically the core card in email support, so email support has 2 Blade Flurries they can use to burst down his opponent whenever he finds necessary, and 2 Tinker Sharp Sword Oil. So those might just go down next turn, and the big burst will probably start to come out. As far as mana, he's not really worried about mana because he has a prep, so that's going to help him out while getting a weapon up and the combo for the Tinker Sharp Sword Oil. And here we go. This is probably going to be a big damaging play right here. Let's see if he goes for it. Yeah, here we go. Prep, Sharp Sword Oil, and boom, the Azure Drake is going to die, along with a lot of damage going towards face. So Bradykin, oh, and he's going double. He's not going to throw down. So, alright, that works. And Bradykin is just kind of SOL right now. No big game hunter so far. But he can, yeah, oh, man. He has to get a taunt. He has a taunt in hand with Druid of the Claw. That has to be played right here. But yet, Blade Flurry is just gonna, yeah. Blade Flurry is just gonna wreck his day. Let's check the attack of this weapon. It is 7, and Bradykin's able to go up to 6 life, but yeah. Ooh, and a Deadly Poison to throw salt into the wound. And there we go. Email support is able to win with 21 life. Welcome back, everyone. We got email support's next opponent up, and it is going to be Issei. Hopefully I'm saying that right, but as far as that, we got email support's Notorious Oil Rogue. They played against a few opponents now. Dory Dank was his first opponent. Dory Dank had some internet issues and just forfeited the match. Bradykin was his next opponent. Bradykin played Warrior, lost, Ramp Druid won, and then Ramp Druid again and lost. So here we are with email support as our current tree topper. Issei is running, looks like, an Oil Rogue of his own, so this is going to be a mirror match. And as far as mirror matches go, I think it's all about card draw and minions and making sure you can sap any oiled minion and stuff like that. So we'll see exactly how this plays out. I am not exactly a rogue expert, but that's probably the gist of the matchup. So whoever starts developing stuff first will set initiative, and then the card draw will probably be a big factor.
Mistakes were made.
So Izzy is saying the mistakes were made already, so kind of sad about that. Oh, he's probably saying that that is because a naked Phantom Knives was used. So it looks like we're going to go into a backstab SI agent and then an attack. So email support is saying, fuck you, I did not make any mistakes, and I meant to do that naked Phantom Knives all along, and I have a minion to take care of your chick, your Violet teacher. Issei is able to develop nothing, looks like. Next turn can be Azure Drake. Looks like a prep sprint, but that will almost, that's going to leave him at 9 cards, so that almost overdraws him, but hopefully it won't. Yep, 9 cards. So perfectly calculated by Issei, that's why he's a professional. And email support has a great Azure Drake drop here to start the card draw and start smashing face with his SI agent. Issei can probably do a Blade Flurry if he wants here to get rid of all that. As far as weapon buffs, he does have a Sharp Sword Oil. That's probably not what he wants to play naked without a minion. Let's make sure we have a couple SI agents in there. Sure we can see everything. Lotheb could come down. Goblin Auto Barber. So, couple of options. This is probably a very complicated turn for him, and this is probably one of the defining moments of this game. He's going to go with the Goblin Auto Barber and Tinker Sharpsword Oil, looks like, and then probably a Blade Flurry. So that leaves Email Support down to about 17 life, with nothing on board, but he can answer this Goblin Auto Barber with Abyss if he wants, or yeah, double prep in hand could indicate a huge Edwin coming here, but we'll see if that Edwin. I don't think he should go with the Edwin, considering Issei has used 0 saps and currently has a sap in hand, so the Edwin will get 0 value. But he only commits a 4/4 to it, so that's safe. That's not too big. He did not waste too many cards doing that, so Issei has options to take care of that Edwin, but nothing too spectacular. He probably wants an Abyss for that, but he has a sap. He could SI7 agent.
So many options.
That's kind of tight on mana. I was thinking he could Phantom Knives, SI agent, and then attack, but he needs a prep to probably execute that, which he used last turn to do the sprint. So we might just see an Azure Drake come down, and that's about it, just to get a minion developed and start the card draw. Lotheb is another great option. That does not die to the Edwin, and Cock blocks all the spells from Email Support. Email Support has a few minions that he can develop himself if he deems necessary. The weapon, probably not the best choice. Probably an Azure Drake. He is not too low on life, yet he is kind of low. He has already seen a Sharpsword Oil along with a Blade Flurry, so he's not too worried about burst, but it could potentially still be there. Looks like he's going to face damage, take 5 face damage to clear that Lotheb. Now he's probably going to go with a weapon up and a anti-Keelbot, just considering he took 5 to the face. Yep, there we go. Issei, maybe with a card draw? Ooh, a card draw and a backstab, that's perfect! Ooh, and a Thalnos if he needs, but he doesn't need. He's probably just going to go with the weapon up, just to make sure that he is prepared if any buffs comes in hand. And life total and board control in the favor of Issei, but card advantage slightly in the favor of Email Support. Especially with those double preps. Those double preps can turn the game around. Interesting. And a Phantom Knives. Phantom Knives might just be used here with the prep just to get some extra card draw. He might go for the Tinker Sharpsword Oil, and then he can just attack his face into the Azure Drake. That would be... Okay, so he's going to go with that and then attack with the haha guy. Haha! And then clear the Azure Drake. So that leaves a great turn next turn with the prep sprint. And the Tinker Sharpsword Oil, which could be very bursty. Thalnos will come down. You get the spell damage for the Phantom Knives, and then an SI agent to finish off the Azure Drake. And that leaves a great board. Ooh, and Email Support right away, no questions asked. Prep, sprint, bam, here we go, 4 cards. Goblin Auto-Barber, Blade Flurry, and SI agent, and Blade Flurry. So plenty of board clear. Tinker Sharpsword Oil will be the weapon buff of choice. Will he backstab? He's going to backstab and then SI agent himself. And then probably attack the Thalnos, remove the spell damage, and weapon up. Prepare for next turn with a huge Blade Flurry. Issei is able to throw down an Azure Drake, probably. And let's see if he decides to clear this. He has plenty of options to clear it. Looks like he's going to take 3 face damage if he uses the Phantom Knives to clear it. Start with the SI Agent, and then take 3 damage right here. What bat? There we go. Down to 23 life, but SA has been having the favorable game so far, so he's still up on life. Blade Flurries. Ooh, here we go. Here's the big Blade Flurry. It's gonna be huge. Yep. So Issei is down to 6 or 12 life, but can clear with his own Blade Flurry or his Phantom Knives. This comes in hand to clear out the Goblin Auto Barber if he needs. Email support gets a sprint off that Thalnos. Ooh, a sap. Alright, that works. And Shredder might come down to develop the board. And there we go. Sap for email support in return. And a buffed up Assassin's Blade. And that is gonna hurt. So Issei has to, oh man. Issei has to find lethal here soon or else he is dead. Probably the next 2 turns. Probably this turn or next turn, if not, yeah. As far as deck development, Issei has 6, email support has 7, so both of them have drawn similar amounts. Tinker Sharp Sword Oil. So lethal is on board with the Blade Flurry and the Vis. So email support, this is getting really tight. He's able to kill the Sharp Sword Oil minion with the Vis. Looks like that's what he's gonna... Or he can just kill his opponent. Yeah, that works too. Yep, why not? Alright, so email support is able to live with 14 life, so bravo to him. It looks like Issei changed from a Miracle Rogue into a Demon Lock, and email support changed as well from a not a Miracle Rogue, an Oil Rogue. Now he's running a Ramp Druid. Oh, and he has a strong hand. We have a... Besides the Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad is not great, but he has a Zombie Chow along with the Wild Growth, so that's like almost the dream hand. All he needs now is an Innervate, and he would be set to go. But Issei also has a very strong contesting hand. Dr. Boom and Doomguard is not really what he wants, but he does have something to develop at least. So email support's just ramping up here, probably gonna smash face. Dr. Boom will get smashed by a big game hunter when the time comes. If it gets out before, no. Issei is not really able to develop much here. He might just life tap. Or he could Power Overwhelming and kill the... Power Overwhelming his egg to develop the 4/4 to then kill the Zombie Chow. Or he's gonna just Dart Bomb it. He does not want to deal with that 2 damage coming in. Another Wild Growth. Okay, so double Wild Growth turn here from email support. He would have played Ascension there if he didn't top deck that Wild Growth. So he's kind of happy about that. Ooh, a Shadow Flame. So a Shadow Flame is going to help, especially with the Power Overwhelming. So whenever big minions come into play, Issei probably will have a nice little play to go off with it. Double egg on the field, so as far as activators, we see a Power Overwhelming, but that's probably going to be played with the Shadow Flame. Email support's probably going to go with a Kel'Thuzad next turn. Actually, probably not, considering this is going to get Mortal down, so he's just going to... Maybe just... Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be pretty clunky for email support next turn. Issei has some great options here. So, ooh, and a nice top deck, Ancient of Lore. That is definitely the play here, while drawing cards. Nice silence if he needs it on the egg, or an Argust egg. Issei has a great drop here, along with Loatheb, or a Shredder life tap. Really smooth draws for these guys so far. That top deck Ancient of Lore was really what email support needed. If he didn't get that, he probably would have had a really terrible hand. A really terrible turn. Issei going with the Void Caller. And straight to face. Now the Void Caller can summon what was it? Doomguard. Doomguard! And there we go. Doomguard is up. Now, email support was probably looking for a Mal'Ganis to come out right there, considering he has Big Game Hunter, but that is not the case. Now he has to deal with the Doomguard. Or he was just thinking it might have been a bluff. Like there was actually no demon in the hand for Issei. But too bad. Now he has to probably develop a Claw along with a Shade, but there is a Shadow Flame to get rid of the Shade if it gets too high. Email support taking his time on this turn. Now if this turn ends without him doing anything, that means that we've probably disconnected. Nope, we're fine. No worries. He's just going to silence the egg and maybe swipe the... Yeah, okay. He's not going to develop the Shade. So Shade is going to stay in the hand. He probably wants to bait out an AoE before he actually plays the Shade. Very smart. So Issei can develop Dr. Boom, and that is probably the strongest turn 7 play in the game right now. So bravo to him for actually putting it in his deck and having it in his hand. Another swipe. The swipe looks hella attractive here. He cannot kill the Dr. Boom with the swipe. He will be 1 damage off. So he could just Wrath and swipe it though. That'd work. So we might just... Oh, he's not going to go for that. Wrath on the Doomguard. And as far as development, he's probably going to just get Druid Claw. So the Keeper of the Grove was able to tank two Doombots. Oh, he doesn't even worry about the... He's just going to use the Big Game Hunter. And he's able to develop his Shade. Shadow Flame onto the Shredder. Clear out everything and he gets a Ship's Cannon. So we'll see if he has any pirates, but something tells me he does not have any pirates. Nice big Ancient of War coming down in taunt mode. And a Hero Power straight to the egg, so it cannot be Argust in any way or buffed whatsoever. So Issei is able to life tap into a Sludge Belcher, which can get answered very easily by the Ancient of War. Email support waiting to make the obvious attack into the Sludge Belcher. Now he wants to probably get his Ancient of War down in life a little bit so that he can use a Kel'Thuzad turn to actually revive it with full health. But we'll see how exactly he does it, because Ancient of War could die potentially. He's got Abusive Sergeant and such. Issei has Abusive Sergeant and such to try to get rid of it. Email support just goes for a Wrath for 1 to draw. And he just goes for a kill on the Mistress of Pain. So only 1 life healed for Issei, but he has a second Mistress of Pain. He's going for the... Ooh, and an Implosion. So Lothar.
I can ease your pain.
Get in there, fight, maggot.
And that is going to open up a great Kel'Thuzad if he decides to play it. Here we go, the trade. Another trade. And bam, Kel'Thuzad might be coming down. And Issei is sad. Sad about that. Oh, and it comes back as not taunt, so it's only 5/5. That's cool. Another life tap. We'll see. Ooh, he gets a void color. Not what he wanted. Implosion on Kel'Thuzad. Probably double implosion. He gets a 2-roll.
Why do you fall?
He's gonna play a naked BGH. No. Okay. So nothing can really be traded off here to heal it up. The cat can go down to 1 life. Well, it looks like everything's going to face. And he is almost dead, but not quite. If he gets... Oh, I don't even know what he could get. He needs like a Siphon Soul, Taunt... I don't know. We'll see. Abusive Sergeant is not what he wanted. He could Big Game Hunter it down, but... that is not going to help. So email support is going, looks like, win with 27 life. So bravo to him. And we got Maruku's hand. So, and he is playing a Mech Mage. So email support is playing his notorious Oil Rogue, and we got a Mech Mage on field. Maruku's able to open with a Snow Chugga, so that's going to freeze up Maruku. Or I mean, yeah, Maruku's able to open with a Snow Chugga, so that's going to freeze up email support. As far as his next play.
So many options.
Email support is really debating this. Probably just a weapon up. Kind of forced to pass here. I don't know if he wants to take extra 2 damage by attacking into the Snow Chugga. And this will freeze him up. He has to get a spell or something to start. Ooh, and that's really annoying. Noitron living up to his name and is being annoying as hell. So an Abyss can clear the Snow Chugga, but not right now. It cannot do its 4 damage right now. There's nothing to combo it. So maybe a naked Edwin Van Cleave is the best play. Email support not having the greatest start. Maruku putting on the pressure as a Mech Mage. Maruku already drawing his Antonidas, so he has the heavy hitters in his hand, just missing a Dr. Boom, which he does not need right now. He has plenty of heavy hitters with Lotheb and Antonidas. Email support really trying to figure out this turn. He does not want to keep frozen. Rogues love to attack stuff with their face, so he does not want to be frozen. Taking his time, we'll figure this out. Now, if this turn ends and he hasn't done anything, that means that we might have lagged out. Well, I don't think is the case. It looks like he is throwing down the Edwin, just as a naked 2. Yep, there we go. And he is not happy about that, but I guess it has to be done. Plenty of power coming on the board. No AoE in the hand for email support just yet, so he is rather sad. He can combo his Abyss now with that draw of the South Sea Deckhand, but that's not really what he wanted. Looks like that's what he's gonna go for though. So an Abyss onto a 2-mana guy, so, and the mechs are off the board, so the Cogmaster will not get buffed, but plenty of mechs can come down. Spider Tank will buff up the Cogmaster once again. And he's gonna trade to get the Mirror Entity. Let's confirm the Mirror Entity. Yep, Mirror Entity. That's the only rogue, or I mean mage secret that's usually run. Weapon does come down, but that's just gonna be more face damage. The attack goes into the 1-mana Cogmaster. Lotheb probably a great play here, and email support will be able to answer with a heal bot. Indeed. Looks like he wants to just throw down the Clockwork Gnome, which is kind of interesting. He's kind of saving the Lotheb for a more strategic play to lock out the spells. So it looks like he kind of wants to get the spells, or I mean the spare parts for Antonidas here in a bit. He realizes this game might go a little bit longer than he needs, so he wants to start getting the fireballs.
So many options.
Pay attention, class.
Violet Teacher gonna be Mirror Entity,
Attention, class.
and then a sap probably is gonna go on the Violet Teacher to prevent anything else from happening. And will he attack anything with his face? Looks like Clockwork Gnome is going to go down. That's going to leave him at 13 life, but he does have a heal bot in hand, so that's not a true 13 life. Maruku is able to get a Goblin Blast Mage. That's considered the most overpowered card in the Mech Mage's arsenal. Does go down with probably a ping, or he's just going to trade off his Spider Tank and kill that, and then a ping to face. Now the spare part that Maruku did get from the Clockwork Gnome is the Cloak Field, so that will be great for Antonidas on turn 8. But right now, Phantom Knives is going to kill the Spider Tank and leave the Blast Mage at 3 to maybe die to the Assassin's Blade. But no great plays after that. He could weapon... he does not want to weapon up. Looks like he's just going to waste the 4 mana. Yeah, 4 mana just going down right there. Maruku... he's gonna look like he's gonna Lotheb. He's gonna cloak up the Lotheb rather than cloaking up an Antonidas next turn, and that is going to leave email support with forcing him to heal bot along with the Thalnos. And finally, Maruku takes some damage 8 turns into the game. Maruku killing the Thalnos with the ping, developing his board further, and just going for face. So it looks like turn 10 might be the time when Antonidas finally gets played with the Mirror Entity to get a Fireball. Some AoE to help email support here. Trading in the Shredder. Hopefully it's a... ooh, that's a crappy minion to get. That thing hopefully will die to the Phantom Knives eventually, but not right now. So by doing... yeah. So Maruku is able to win with 27 life. Looks like the same decks. We'll see what the cards are. Yep, the exact same decks. We have Oil Rogue versus Mech Mage. There is no deck restrictions. This is a best of 3. Maruku is up by 1 game. So email support has to win 2 games here to keep moving on. Maruku has a great start with Cogmaster and Clockwork Gnome. Ooh, 2 Clockwork Gnomes. So, great start, plenty of low drops. Email support has a fairly good, he has the coin, he has the prep, he has the Edwin, so let's see what he's able to develop. Maruku committing more to the board, that might get Phantom Knives next turn. We'll see if he wants to use the coin on it. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna coin. Ooh, he's gonna coin, prep, fan, Edwin. Nice. That's gonna be huge. That's gonna be like a 6/6, 8/8 maybe. We'll see. Where's the Edwin? There we go. 8/8. Nice. So Maruku has the fireball, so he can fire. No, he cannot fireball yet. He's gonna freeze it. Wow, that's great. That's like the ultimate answer to Edwin. Such big Edwin, at least. So another 3 to face. And email support has couple of options. Attack, and maybe... and that'll be it. So Mech Warper stays online. Goblin Blast Mage is going to start whacking. How many to face? How many to Edwin? 3 to face, 1 to Edwin. Typical. And email support's down to 16 life. Looks like an Abyss is going to go down on the Blast Mage, and Edwin may go into the... yeah. Edwin goes into the Mech Warper, and a nice top deck. Okay, so he's going to Fireball, and probably pass turn. That's going to leave Maruku still at 30 life, but going to take 1 damage at least this turn. Assassin's Blade is going to get developed, and he has some great things to go with the Assassin's Blade and the Tinker Sharpsword Oil. He does not attack with it. Oh, he does attack with it. Okay, so it's going down to 3 durability, past the turn. Maruku is able to develop Mad Scientist, along with a Spider Tank, it looks like. So just a Spider Tank, no Mad Scientist. He's willing to keep the pressure as high as possible.
Pay attention,
Violet
class.
Teacher. Prep.
I'm ready to learn.
Tinker Sharpsword Oil. Whack into the Spider Tank. Ooh, whack into the face. Alright. So sadly the Tinker Sharpsword Oil went on a 1 health minion, so that might just get pinged down along with a Lotheb. And the Spider Tank is probably going to go to face as well. So Blade Flurry cannot be played here to clear out the board. Or it might, yeah, it might just be played. And that's going to clear the board and put him down to 7 life.
I'm ready to learn.
So email support. Oh man, down to 4 life. And he doesn't have any direct damage, but he does have a strong board. Maruku is able to freeze the Violet Teacher, and okay, so email support just wins with 13 life. Bravo to him. The score is currently 1-1, and looks like Maruku is changing from Mech Mage to an Oil Rogue. So this is going to be a mirror. We've seen several Oil Rogues tonight, and this is going to be no different. As far as the mulligans, it looks like Maruku is coming out on top so far with double backstab and an SI7 agent. SI7 agent is like the ultimate early game minion, so definitely liking that. Email support has zone backstab. He has a deadly poison, which is great, and a Fathom Knives to maybe be just for card draw or saved for the Violet Teacher. A prep for each player. And weapon up for Maruku, probably followed up by another weapon up from email support. Maruku is able to get a Farseer. Let's see if he plays the Farseer or a naked, or he's just going to weapon up again. Alright, so taking it very slow. And email support, let's see if he's able to develop, maybe he develops the Thalnos. Maybe he throws out the Phantom Knives. Yep, there we go, Phantom Knives. Maruku is able to probably develop nothing again. Just another weapon up. Yeah, okay. So these players have had some really dry turns to start out with. Ooh, looks like a prep sprint might be the play here for... oh, he's going to overdraw if he does that. If he does that, he's going to overdraw, so... He obviously recognizes that, and looks like he's going to go for Deadly Poison, Prep, Sprint. Okay, that's going to leave him at like 10 cards. But, okay, that works, that works. So, first card draw advantage going into favor of email support. And, yeah, he is at 9 cards now, so he's safe. Maruku is able to prep sprint himself, but he's going to be... he does not want to go up too high. He's also at very high card count. He would like to probably throw down the SI7 agent here, but he's going to throw down the naked Farseer. No healing value there, but able to get another 3 damage. So next turn he can do the prep sprint and get plenty of card draw while he still has a minion. This Farseer probably is going to die to a weapon, while maybe a Shredder gets developed. We'll see if maybe like a Edwin gets developed with a couple of cards going into him. Tricky turn. Well, actually not that tricky. He just kind of wants to optimize it. He can do pretty much whatever he wants, but he just wants to make sure that he has the most leads going into the next few turns as possible. So Shredder looks like it's going to be the minion of choice. And that's going to leave Maruku with a Dr. Boom coming in hand. That's strange to see in Oil Rogue, but you know, so overpowered you kind of play it in every deck. Starting out with the prep sprint probably, or a backstab, SI7 agent,
This guy's tough.
and seeing what comes out. And let's see if he wants to... Oh, a really crappy minion. That's almost the worst minion to come out, if not the worst. Another tie for worst is the Parrot. That card and the Parrot. Okay, so Azure Drake to get smart card draw. And it looks probably a backstab on the SI7 agent. And that's going to leave him at a high card count and board control. And let's see how Maruku can develop. He can probably start with, ooh, Dr. Boom. So he has double print. He has not chosen to sprint yet, considering he has plenty of options to do. And Dr. Boom is something that Email Support is saying, like, what the hell is this doing in the deck? He probably does not want to sap it. Those boom bots are so annoying. Maybe he's trying to get a blade? I don't know. He's looking probably to get an Abyss off. Oh, he's going for a sap. Alright. Wait for it. Yep, there's the sap. Maruku is saying like, okay, thank you. I'd rather have more boom bots. I appreciate that sap. Going straight to face, Goblin Auto Barber and Edwin. So that's Edwin's going to be about 6/6. Yep, 6/6. So Maruku pretty much has to AoE here, or he is going to be up shit's creek. And he has, as far as AoE, man, he doesn't have anything great. He has a sap to get rid of the Edwin, and the boom bots are gonna. Okay, so backstab on the Goblin Auto Barber, and then boom bots are gonna whacking away at this, and it does not quite kill it. Let's see if this next one will kill it. You got it. All right, cool. So the boom bots killed Azure Drake. Prep sprint gonna come out, maybe followed up by a weapon up. We'll see what he draws. Abyss, Violet Teacher, Farseer, and Blade. Oh, finally Blade Flurry. That's like the core card in Miracle Rogue. And attack and weapon up looks like. So both players have an insane amount of cards and fairly similar life totals. But as far as minion development, Email Support is going to go balls to the walls with a South Sea deckhand, it looks like, considering a sap just came out on his Edwin. He does not have a Blade Flurry to attack twice, but this is going to hurt a lot. Down to 10 life, and Maruku has some options here. He could do his own little combo. He's going to throw down left Lotheb to protect himself. 9 mana. Lotheb, he's probably... How he kills the South Sea deckhand could either be sprint, or an Abyss, or a Blade Flurry. I mean, not a sprint. I mean a sap. So he's going to go with minion development, also with an Abyss. And he's going to save the Lotheb for next turn. Or some other turn. Maybe not next. But now he has board control. And Abyss is just going to end the game. So Email Support is able to win with 23 life. So bravo. Email Support has defeated 3 opponents tonight.